Well, things have been stressful lately, but it's so nice to be back in my old video gaming room. Wait, hang on. Why am I saying it like that? Unless... What the hell? What's this? What's happened to my video game room? So, if someone's moved their stuff in here, then that means... Oh no. Not that room. Anything but that room, no! 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 So, this is the new video game room, huh?
No, this is Patrick.
Quiet, you! Yeah, I know it may seem a bit weird at first, especially how it feels it was only yesterday how I moved everything into that big room, only to move everything back just into this small room. But hey, you know, this place isn't really too bad. You know, it's nice, warm, cozy. It has some natural light going through, so I don't have to turn on the switch. And the best part about it is I'm no longer near the side of the road, which means no more car noises driving by, which is a huge plus if you ask me. Okay, I'm probably rambling long enough already, so you're not here to see me talk about the game room. You're here to see me talk about...
Fishy, fishy!
Oh man, Finding Nemo. Such a great film with memorable characters and an awesome story. From where Lilo gets tired of his dad's ways and getting kidnapped, to Marlin having the determination by his side, and with the help of Dory, saves his son. I could watch this movie all day and night and never get exhausted from it. But, as per usual, for every time a popular movie shows up, a video game based on the movie is sure to follow. But did you know the Finding Nemo game was actually released before the movie dropped in cinemas? Well, apparently they did, because they thought the game would sell well. And it did, selling a ton of copies and receiving a PlayStation 2 Platinum release. So if it is true, then this game should be a standalone classic. Or will it be an overhyped disappointment? Well, let's not waste any more time and dive right into the game. Get it? Get the joke? Cause fishes dive into water, and that's what we're going to do. Dive into the game. This, my dear pals, is the video game based on the movie called Finding Nemo. Well, for starters, unlike Trouble in Paradise, the Finding Nemo game follows the movie pretty well, going through all the major plot points that happened throughout the adventure. Definitely onto the right path so far. And I'm pretty curious, who was the masterminds behind this brilliant idea? Traveler's Tales. The same people that made The Wrath of Cortex. Okay, fine, I'll sit back down and give them another chance. Cause after all, they did make Crash to Insanity, and that was a fun game, mind you. You might notice that I'm brushing off the story, and I am, because the story in this game is exactly what you'll expect from the movie. And plus, I'm sure most of you have seen Finding Nemo one too many times that you know what happens from the back of your mind. So before we can start the game and check out the first level, we need to go through the loading screen. God damn it! I remember these loading screens as a kid. They were atrocious and went on for far too long. Well, bring that timer up and let's see if it beats Secret Agent Clank as one of the longest loading screens I ever witnessed.
Nemo.
Wait, what? It actually loaded less than 10 seconds? But I could swear that it took ages just to load into a level. I don't know, maybe it's because I wasn't patient enough as a kid, or maybe it's because I have a better copy of the game. But anyway, let's move on. Going into the first level playing as Nemo, and it treats itself as a tutorial section. Learning how to use the controls, grabbing and moving objects, and attacking enemies. Throughout the first level, Nemo with the guidance of Marlin sees a few potential friends. Tad the obnoxious fish, Sheldon who is H2O intolerant and how are you still alive if you're allergic to water, and the sweet innocent Pearl who accidentally gets lost. Nemo rescues Pearl and in return, she shits out a... Pearl? I don't really know, but what's weird is that she doesn't hand it to Nemo or throws it, she literally shits it out. Apparently a giant clam is in the way, and we use that pearl, no, the other pearl, to bring it to the clam in order to progress. Now, you could do that option, or you can just swim around it. Cause you are a fish, after all. But because we have to follow the game's instructions, we give the pearl to the clam and move on. Wait a second. What did Marlin just did back there? Oh, you son of a bitch! Couldn't be bothered going around the clam, but yet you feel like going around this object? Okay. Calm down, Cheese. It's probably a one-time thing, so, let's move on. So we continue on the level, and all of a sudden, Rock shows up out of nowhere, and we need to get through.
Here, let me do it, Nemo.
That is a really disturbing kiss face.
Aw, gee, I can't move him. Oh well, we'll have to go home now.
Just swim around the rocks. Swim around the fucking rocks, you fucking lazy cunt!
Okay, it feels like half of my notes is going towards the first level, which is extremely unfair for the entire game. So, let's check out some other gameplay features. The gameplay switches every now and then with 2D sections, 3D sections, and being able to play as Nemo, Marlin, and Dory. Each level has different tasks to complete, including moving the colored objects to its correct destination, jumping on all of the sponges, and going through all the rings. Kinda like Superman 64. But with fish. Super Fish 64. If you successfully complete a task, you'll be rewarded with a special gold star. Wish I had a gold star back at school. The graphics do look okay comparing to the PlayStation 2 version, but occasionally it can look a bit bland. Sometimes it can look a little bit grey and doesn't really have the best details in an underwater game. The level designs are okay as well. As previously mentioned, the levels do follow the movie, but throughout the game, some of the levels are not fun, and trust me, we will get to them pretty soon. Another move that only Nemo can perform is the infinite spin. By going inside the By going inside one of the plants, Nemo comes out and performs the spin attack, being invincible for a limited amount of time. What's weird is that it only shows up once or twice in the entire game, making it almost pointless. Everyone's health bar consists of collecting krill. They protect you in case of swimming into danger, and if you get hit without a krill, you'll get an instant death. Kinda like Sonic and the Rings when you think about it. Later on in the game towards level 3, it's up to here where the game stops holding your hand and we get introduced to the boat scene. This is definitely a huge highlight from the movie. Let's watch.
Come on, Nemo! How far can you go?
My dad says it's not safe.
You know you can't swim well.
Okay, first of all, that scene between Nemo and Marlin felt rushed to me. And I know it's only a video game, but they could have at least added more dialogue to keep the tension rising. And secondly,
No, you can't swim well.
the way how Marlin said that almost makes it like he wants to have his way with you. Oh god, no, stay away from my butt, Marlin. No, stay the fuck back! I don't think nothing will ever be disturbing as what I just saw.
Hey, kids!
Okay, maybe accept that. But much like Trouble in Paradise, the one thing I do like about this game is the soundtrack. Again, not the best soundtrack in a video game, but there are a few nice ones to listen to. Finding Nemo also presents a few puzzles as well, but unfortunately, the puzzles are not that good. Why? Because of the sliding puzzles. They are not only annoying, but they're also a terrible excuse to add puzzles in a video game. But what's pretty interesting for a game based on the movie is nearly all the voice actors are here, including Alexander Good voicing Nemo and William Dafoe voicing Gil. William Dafoe? More like William Dufriend. Okay, I should really stop with these puns. It feels like every voice actor from the movie is right here in your video game console.
It's all right, I understand. Why trust a shark, right?
Is it just me, or did Bruce sounded different just then?
Careful, my little tidbits. You don't want to be popping any of them balloons. It'd be bad for your health, mate, and mine.
Okay, so time to talk about the actual levels. Like I said, there are some levels I do like. For example, the jellyfish race. I like how you have to use the jellyfishes to try and get ahead, and I also like the submarine level on how you have to avoid getting eaten by Bruce, and the transition from 3D to 2D is pretty smooth. But however, there are some levels I cannot stand in Finding Nemo. Some of them go on for what feels like forever, and the main objectives to do are meaningless that it becomes nothing but filler. Catch Dory is an example of being a pointless level. The idea is to swim through the rings Dory drops, increasing your speed, and the way to win is to catch up to Dory 3 times. I just feel this level could have been something more better. Another one I'm not a fan of is hide and seek. All you have to do is find all the fishes in the tank. Sounds pretty simple, but without a guidebook, this goes on way longer than it should have. There's some ridiculous tasks to do to find the other fishes, like doing a side puzzle and knocking down a few bowls just to reveal a character.
No. We must have no mess.
Did he just jizz in the fish tank? But in all seriousness, there is one level that I really hate. And if you thought all the levels were lazy, then check this shit out. Level 4. Damn it. Level 4, Moss Chase. This level to me is the worst. There's a very strong current pushing you around, and if you move too quickly, you could end up getting hit or restarting the level again. Another thing I hate about this level is there's a timer on your head, which means you have to rush to the next section before the time runs out. I want to have a look at the environment and complete the level 100%, but because I have to beat the timer, that's pretty much ignored. Overall, I hate this level, and I pray to God that I never get to go through this again. Wait a second! The moss was right there, Marlin! I remember loving this game as a kid, despite the long loading screens, but playing it now, I did not enjoy my playthrough of Finding Nemo. It's cool to play as Nemo, Marlin, and Dory, but they play exactly the same, and there's not much difference between them. Some of the levels are pretty pointless and can get boring very quickly, and while it's interesting to have both 2D and 3D sections, but I think this game would have been better off as a 2D game. Only because I feel the 3D sections are not really the best way to represent the game. While the soundtrack does sound nice, but unfortunately, it doesn't really carry it to being a good game. All I can say is that the only way for me to recommend this game is if you have played this game before, but other than that, I just can't find a reason to pick this game up. Well, that was Finding Nemo, a game I enjoyed back in the day, but looking at it now, to me, it really was an overhyped disappointment. Well, with this game done and dusted, all I can say is the Finding Nemo game is now official. Or, I should say, fish, y'all. Oh man, when it comes to all these puns, I've been on a roll lately. Well, would ya look at that?